Welcome to the weekly AI podcast on behalf of AIPOD. Today we're looking at a pretty bizarre paradox in the tech world right now. I mean, if AI is currently generating 90% of a major tech company's code, why are they, hiring more human software engineers than ever?
Yeah, it really doesn't make intuitive sense at first glance.
Exactly. So in this deep dive, we're cutting through 9 different sources for the week ending May 17th, 2026. We want to show you how this tech is actually being bolted into the human workforce, how it's scaling across enterprise infrastructure and converging with deep science.
Right, and that 90% stat you just mentioned, the one from Anthropic's CFO, I think it really highlights this massive disconnect between boardroom expectations and, you know, server room reality.
Because everyone just assumed automation meant immediate payroll reduction.
Exactly.
But it's more like buying a state-of-the-art commercial jet and thinking you can just fire the pilots.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Right. The tool is a force multiplier, not a human replacement. Like, they can write 10,000 lines of boilerplate code in a single second, but they still need a senior human architect to say what building they are actually trying to construct.
Which is exactly why NVIDIA Vice President Brian Catanzaro was so critical this week. He was warning companies about laying off workers just to swap in AI models.
Like, it's just some simple cost-cutting measure.
Right. The mechanism people get wrong is thinking of AI as a drop-in replacement for a human employee. It's not autonomous. It is actually a highly volatile engine. So to get actual value out of it, you need constant infrastructure investment, strategic management, and human refinement.
Otherwise, the outputs just go completely off the rails.
For sure.
I hear you, but every CEO out there is still looking for that efficiency play. So if raw AI isn't an autonomous worker, how are businesses actually deploying it without, tearing out their existing systems and risking an operational nightmare?
Well, they're doing it by locking down either the infrastructure or the workflow. So let's look at infrastructure first. IBM is aggressively expanding its hybrid AI with Red Hat.
Right, rather than forcing a bank or a hospital to send highly sensitive data out to some public cloud.
Exactly. IBM uses virtualization to create these secure, flexible sandboxes right inside a company's existing servers. They're basically stripping away the deployment risk.
Which actually perfectly explains the spending data we saw from Ramp this week. Anthropic has actually surpassed OpenAI in business customer growth.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. Corporate buyers don't necessarily want the wildest, most creative model on the market. They want reliability. So they are swarming Anthropic's Claude model specifically for that enterprise-grade safety. They just need predictable outputs.
That makes total sense. And for companies prioritizing workflow over raw infrastructure, you could look at Ogilvy India. They just partnered with Google to build a custom AI studio.
But they aren't firing their art directors, right?
No, not at all. Instead, they built a system that automates the really tedious production mechanics. Resizing assets, generating quick visual variations.
Ah, so the human creatives can spend all their time on high-level strategy and storytelling.
Exactly.
Okay, so we are stabilizing the infrastructure and we're automating the busy work. Where does that leave us once these tools are, fully embedded?
Well, Anthropic's Cat Wu predicts a massive jump from reactive to proactive.
Meaning what, exactly?
Instead of typing a prompt into a chatbot, she envisions digital companions that quietly analyze your schedule, your habits, and context to anticipate what you need before you even express it.
But getting to that level of intuition requires a massive leap in processing capability, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And you can't get there just by building bigger data centers. You have to cross scientific disciplines. That is why DeepMind alumni are sparking a massive startup boom across Europe right now.
Applying AI research directly to robotics and enterprise software.
Right. But the real bottleneck breaker this week is the Replica initiative.
Yes, merging AI with quantum computing for drug discovery. I've read that, but how does that actually work in practice? I mean, beyond the buzzwords.
So traditional computers simulate biological interactions one molecule at a time, which takes years to find a viable new drug. Quantum computers, however, can look at millions of molecular states simultaneously.
But that must generate just a chaotic, overwhelming mountain of data.
It totally does.
Yeah.
So the Replica initiative injects AI into that process to act as a pattern recognition filter. The AI instantly spots the winning molecular combination out of all that quantum noise.
That kind of cross-pollination is everywhere right now, even outside of software. Like, look at Fervo Energy.
Oh, yeah, the geothermal project.
Yeah. They just hit a massive clean energy milestone by taking traditional oil and gas shale drilling techniques and applying them directly to geothermal power. It's the exact same principle, taking a mature mechanism from one field to break open a bottleneck in another.
That convergence is really the story of the next decade. The isolated silos of science are just collapsing. But, to loop back to your initial point about the workforce,
Yeah.
if we are heading toward a near future where systems write their own code, run the enterprise infrastructure, and proactively anticipate our needs,
Yeah.
wait, does the ultimate human skill just become figuring out what we actually want?
Thank you. See you next week.